Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Well, good morning, everyone. Would you all please join me in opening meditation? Please join me in Gasho. The words of Thich Nhat Hanh. All things arise because of their interdependence, and that is why nothing has a separate, independent identity. We are here to awaken from the illusion of separateness. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Would you all please join me in Gasho and join me in reciting the three treasures? Three treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. With strong voices, let's all please join in chanting the Jusei Ge. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Gagon Chosegan Hishimu Jodo Shigan Fumanzok Seifu Joshogak Gao Muryoko Fuidai Seishu Fusai Shobingu Seifu Joshogak Gashi Jobutsudo Myosho Chojipo Kukyo Mishomon Seifu Joshogak Ryokujin Shonen Joe Shubongyo Shigumu Jodo Isho Tenin Shi Jiniki Endaiko Fusho Musaido Shoujo San Kumyo Kosai Shuyakunan 大悲智 Endaiko 福寿 Musaido 修 Josai Shuyakunan 开 Hi 智 Endaiko 福寿 Musaido 修 Josai Shuyakunan 开 Hi 智 Endaiko 福寿 Musaido 修 Josai Shuyakunan 开 Hi 智 Endaiko 福寿 Musaido 修 Josai Shuyakunan 开 Hi 智 Endaiko 小悪道巣脱善宗門高僧上満足いおろちぽ日月主十期天候音普賢一周会法蔵公正功徳法上大集中説法四子空供養一切仏具足修徳本元年出上満徳意三概要如仏無下知津脱未不詳願学エリ投資最小尊志願夜行化大聖の感動国小天人東鎮妙慶ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく平等性際どんぼ大心お嬢安楽Namandab, namandab, 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 namandab. Thanks to the efforts of many others, we are able to bring music into our service this morning. I want to thank Reverend Patty for pumping out some serious jams and recording this morning's Gatha, Namo Amida Butsu.
Smiles and flowers.
Thank you, everyone at home, for raising your voices. Great job. And thanks to Reverend Patty and Koichi. And I know Ellie's going to help us with our closing Gatha today. So thank you all for helping out at today's service. I'd like to ask everyone to please join me in Gasho as together we recite in gratitude the Golden Chain. Golden chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda, namanda. Well, again, good morning, everyone. And today I would like to start off by asking everyone to again answer the most simplest of questions. How is everyone doing today? Are you well? Are you all safe at home? I hope you are all doing well, and thank you all for waking up a little bit early this morning to join us all for this morning's service. As we begin service today, I would like to let you all know that there will be a bit of work at home portion in today's Dharma message. So as I just start to begin my message, I will ask all of you to now quickly find a piece of paper and a pen to make some notes a little later during service. During this COVID time, while spending a lot of time inside and at home, I've been trying to read a bit more and expand my knowledge of other Buddhist practices. When I really sit down and think about it, my past teachings and practice has certainly primarily centered around general Buddhism and our Jodo Shinshu practice. While I have no plans to make any major religious changes, I think in recognizing our true interdependence and connection to everything, it is even more important to learn a bit about other practices, Buddhist and beyond. One name that has come up a few times over the past few months is Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Buddhist born in 1926. Due to war and the politics of his early life, he was barred from returning to his home country of Vietnam and has spent the last 50 years as a true citizen of the world, a person with no true home base. But without a home base, then the world becomes your home, and as a citizen of the world, he has spent the last 50 years trying to teach his understanding of Buddhism, simply spreading a message of nonviolence and starting the process of engaged or applied Buddhism. Applied Buddhism is simply that, taking the teachings and applying them to our own lives and making it a practical application to our lives each and every day. In reading some of Thich Nhat Hanh's work, I found it interesting that his most important teaching is simply for all beings to live in awareness. All beings to live in awareness, to simply open our eyes and to know what is going on, to be aware of what we do and what we are each and every minute. If we can truly be aware, then we see that each and every second we are constantly changing. And if we have this awareness of constant change, then we can easily see, or should be able to easily see, that we are totally connected, in his term, endlessly interwoven to each other. To quote him, "In Buddhism, there is no such thing as an individual, because no any part of the world can exist apart from all others. Rather, everything that looks like a separate entity is actually dependent upon and therefore interwoven with something else." Now, an exercise to kind of get us on this road of understanding this true interconnection, I've seen used many times. And I think Reverend Bob has certainly used this example, but it's a super easy, but it's a fun example. And as I hold up this blank piece of paper, simple white paper, I ask the simple question of, how many of you can see the sun in this piece of paper? How many of you can see the sun in this piece of paper? In its most simple form, what is paper made of? Wood or wood pulp, huh? And where do we get wood? We get wood from a tree. And what are the most basic elements that it takes to make a tree grow and flourish? It takes a seed and soil and water and sunlight, huh? So knowing that nothing exists on its own, knowing that it took all of those things and probably millions of other causes and conditions to make a tree, to then make wood, to make wood pulp, then to make paper. How many of you now can see the sun in this piece of paper? Now we could do exercises like this for hours, holding up the most simplest of items and asking, how is this related? This just trying to get us to open our eyes to the truth of oneness that we all share. Thinking of this exercise, it made me think of one of our fall rituals here in Sacramento. Each fall, we have our annual class for our 4th grade Girl Scout and Boy Scouts, the Metta Padma class. Once completing the class, the Boy Scouts are awarded the Metta Award, Metta meaning love or kindness, and the Girl Scouts are awarded the Padma Award, and Padma is the lotus that grows in our ponds. And I think to date, and I may be off a little bit on the number of years, but I think this program has been going on for over 36 years, with Reverend Bob and Reverend Patty as the true catalysts. The minister assistants have been involved for the last 20 years, and now with Reverend Matt at the helm of our temple, he is now adding his own flavor to this Metta Padma program. This program has provided the ministers and minister assistants at the Betsuan an opportunity to reach out to our 9 and 10-year-olds and really provide them a firm foundation of general Buddhism and our Jodo Shinshu practice. And as I stated, the class was originally taught by Reverend Bob, and he really seemed to love this time of year teaching this class. And while it's a class made up of 9 and 10-year-old kids, we never dumbed it down for the age of the students. And then when you think about this program, when you think about some simple math, 36 years, maybe an average of 15 kids per year, it's a program that has reached out to well over 550 kids over the years. Many of our past students have brought their own children back to the classes. Truly an amazing opportunity to connect, and another reminder of truly how intertwined and interconnected we are. When R.B. and Patty retired from the Betsuan, we hoped that this program would continue. And while the curriculum has changed a bit, I'm happy to say that this program has continued, and even happier to say that R.B. and Patty are still a major part of these classes. In an attempt to make this interconnection, interwoven concept point at a more basic level and understanding to these kids, understanding their role in being one of these interconnected parts in the world, a couple of years ago, we asked the kids to engage in a discussion very similar to the "Can you see the sun" in this paper. One of the first conversations we had with this new class was a round table. Introduction, name, age, school, favorite food, names of your pets, and to answer the following question. And the following question is this: how far did you touch today? How far did you touch today? So again, with this new idea to make an impact upon how these kids look at themselves and their part in this great big world. Also the ideas that Thich Nhat Hanh has talked about, interdependence and awareness. It's even more a crucial issue, I think. So let's spend the last few minutes of service today going through the same exercise that we had our students go through. And yes, this will result in a very short at-home and homework assignment, but I think you'll end up enjoying it this next week. So hopefully you found a piece of paper and a pen. So on your paper, I would like you to write in big letters across the top the following question: how far did I touch today? Question mark. How far did I touch today? So today, even though today is still pretty young, let's go ahead and think about how far have I touched today. Now, don't write anything down yet, but let's all go through this process in answering this question. So for me today, I drove from Elk Grove to Sacramento. So it's easy to say that I touched as far as Sacramento. But you know, I drove a car today, my Honda Accord, that was designed in Japan and, strangely enough, built in Marysville. Not Marysville, California, but Marysville, Ohio. So I also touched Marysville, Ohio today. But wait, there's more. The t-shirt that I'm wearing today was made in the Dominican Republic. My dress shirt and shoes, they were made in China. So today, I think I've touched all these places too, just in the last 4 or 5 hours. So take a minute and think about how far you've touched today. What did you write down? If you want, you can add a comment in the chat area of Facebook to let everyone know how far you touched this morning. So again, this little exercise is just really step one on a path to think about and become aware of just how connected we are to all things on this planet Earth. We too should all think about how our lives are just not our lives alone. Everything that we do can have an impact on the world. From the actions on how we live each day, to the items that we purchase, to the things that we leave behind, to the attitudes that we carry and project to others around us. We are all connected, so we really need to think about our actions and how we live, as each and every decision and action that we make can cause impact upon others. So your ongoing homework this week is totally easy. Stick your card up on the fridge, and each evening after a full day, just take a brief moment and try to come up with a different answer to the question, how far did I touch today? And in writing down your answer, simply take time to consider again the words of Thich Nhat Hanh. Please join me in Gasho. All things arise because of their interdependence, and that is why nothing has a separate, independent identity. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, namanda, namanda. Again, thank you all for joining all of us here today. All of us being myself, with special help from Stuart and Ron and Kelly as we go through some special training today on our AV system. And before we have our announcements, let's have our second Gatha farewell.
Dharma school is over for another day. Let us gather around the shrine, bow our heads and say, thank you, teacher, for your help. Thank you, everyone. Buddha's love will keep us safe till our work is done. So we'll meet again next week. Won't you take good care? Let us try to do what's right, always kind and fair. We shall spread the happiness faith in Buddha brings. Now it's time to say goodbye till we meet again. Namo Amida Butsu, sing this fine refrain. Namo Amida Butsu, sunny day or rain. Namo Amida Butsu, strong in faith remain. Namo Amida Butsu, till we meet again.
Okay, do we have any announcements out there today? thank you for the announcements. And again, thank you all for being here today. It is great to be back in the Sacramento, Betsu, and Hondo. And I hope that with vaccinations and safety protocols in place, we can start to see each other again, hopefully by the end of the year. Until then, be good humans and be safe. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amidabatsu. Namo Amidabatsu. Namo Amidabatsu. Namandab, namandab, namandab. Goodbye, everybody. Have a safe week.